Hey guys, it's Mike with M&M Precision Painting, and today we're going to be cleaning out an airless paint sprayer.
Still looking at me.
Alright guys, so I do have a video on how to set one of these guys up for use. I can put it up here in the corner for you guys to click on so you can figure out or learn how you can set one of these up for use. But in this video we're going to be cleaning one out. So that being said, the first thing you're going to want to do is try to hire someone to do this, because this absolutely sucks. You're going to be here forever. You're going to want to use this against yourself. No, it's really not that bad, guys. What you're going to need is a bucket of clean water. You're going to need 2 5-gallon buckets, and of course the bucket that you're painting out of. In one bucket you're going to put clean water. Your other bucket is going to be for trash. And I'll show you why you're going to need those here in a sec. So just stay tuned and I'll show you. All right, so now we're going to continue on here. You're going to take your siphon hose here out of your paint, right? We're just saying this is in the paint. You want to knock it off really good, get any of that excess paint. Maybe even take a brush, scoop some off back into your paint bucket. And then you're going to take that directly out of your paint, switch it over to your water, right? I like to swirl it around like this just to make sure. And then you're going to take your hand, of course, and just clean off that screen, any excess that might be on the bottom there. And I like to keep you want to keep your prime tube over here in your paint. That's because once we prime this, we're going to prime the paint. What little bit of paint's left in this system, we're going to prime that. Make sure its prime is down. Make sure it's in the prime position. Turn it up until you stop seeing paint come out, which is going to be really fast, by the way. And then once you see paint come out, you just switch back over to your water bucket. Now, once we do that, we switch to spray mode. We're going to take our Airless, and this is a reversible tip, so we're going to turn our tip in the back position, squeeze the trigger first, and we're getting a phone call. So we'll be right back after this. Going to want to squeeze your trigger. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is, because you got paint in this line and in the pump, so you're going to get that paint out first, and then you can switch over to your trash bucket. Remember, we're running clean water through our pump, and we're going to run our paint into the paint bucket until we see water. Then we're going to switch over to our trash bucket. Okay. So yeah, I'll start that process right now. I'm starting in low. I have it in spray mode, and then I'll just turn it up. Trigger squeezed, important. And then I'm going to keep running that through until I see water come out, not paint. All the paint's going to come out of the line there, and then I'm just going to switch over. So we'll just do that until we see. All right, guys, so I got water coming out now. Got a nice nap in. Got water coming out now. And so what I'm going to do is switch over to my trash bucket. And I'm going to continue to run it through for a little while, some of my clean water. Your water's going to get a little cloudy. And what you're going to want to do throughout the process is empty out your water, refill it, put some new clean water in it. Like I said, this is a pretty lengthy process, but it's good because you're going to save your Airless in the long run. So you just continue to pump that through, and then the water will start getting a little more clear. Every now and then what I like to do is cycle back and forth, and what I'll do is I'll take this prime hose, because the water is going to be dirty and I don't want to put it in my clean water, because the prime hose, of course, purges the air from the system. So any dirty water I do have in here is going to go into my clean water, and that doesn't make sense. So I'm going to put any dirty water that might be in the prime tube into the the trash bucket. Excuse me, I almost made a mistake. So you want to flip it at prime first. And It's important to hold on to this hose before you turn it to prime, because that thing will shoot out because it is under pressure. So run it a little bit through there, switch back to spray mode. And you just want to kind of go back and forth with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some clean water, and we're going to redo this process until this guy runs clean. All right, guys, so I went and got myself some clean water. One of the things you can do, like while you're doing this also, is what I like to do is just let the water sit up in the pump for a little while. That way it'll slowly sort of soften any of the paint that's on the lining of the inside of the tube or in your pump, as opposed to like steadily running it through. If you want to get it real clean, you can use a little warm water. But yeah, I got myself some clean water, and I'll just continue this process until it runs clean. And don't forget, switch back and forth to prime mode. Back to spray. And just keep going like that until you see clear water coming out of this tip here. One thing to mention also, or you guys have probably noticed, every time I switch back and forth, I turn my pressure down. That's why I don't get caught off guard. So I go to pull this trigger, I don't got like tons of pressure back up in my line. Same with the deal here. So yeah, in between switching back and forth from prime to spray, just turn your pressure down. That way you don't get caught off guard. So yeah, I'm gonna let this guy sit up a little while, and then I'll show you guys the rest here in a sec.
What are you doing?
Using the bathroom. All right, guys. So yeah, that's essentially all there is to it. Just keep switching. Just remember, keep switching back and forth from prime to spray. Let it sit for a little while. Come back, run some more clean water through it, and you're gonna want to switch this bucket out every time it gets dirty enough until you literally have clean water coming out of here. One thing to keep in mind, if you're just storing this overnight, it's fine to keep just regular water in it overnight, maybe 2 days. If you're gonna store it for any longer period of time, you're gonna wanna use something like Pump Armor. It's a product I guess Sherwin-Williams makes. You can get it elsewhere too, I believe. But what you're gonna wanna do is, the instructions are on the bottle itself, and it's a dilution form. I think it's like a couple tablespoons per gallon or something like that. It's pretty strong stuff. Some people use antifreeze. I have a lot of pets, so I don't like goofing with it. But if you are storing it outside in really, really cold temperatures, you're gonna want to put some antifreeze in there, or something of that nature. Something that's not gonna freeze under extreme conditions. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Another thing to remember, when you're done, make sure you're in the off position here, and put this down to prime and take the pressure off, because if you leave it in spray mode, you're gonna keep pressure on that pump, and that's just bad for your pump. So yeah, that's it. Run it until it's all clean, and just wanna take your little toothbrush, take that off and clean it up. Easy money. So that's it, and stay tuned. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe. A little button over here. I got some videos around here. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at M&M Precision Painting. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.
Are you still looking at me?